Today, we're going to be looking at the main options to back up your house in the case of a power outages. So the two most common options are backup generators and home batteries, which is the new player in the game. So we're going to compare the difference between the two, mainly around cost, installation cost, operational cost, how long the backup power works, how long they're warranted for, and what's the best option for your home. So in terms of installation costs, the home battery is actually going to be a little bit more expensive. A home generator will be anywhere from 13 to 18,000. Home battery will be anywhere from 15 to 20,000. This really depends on how many batteries you're going to get. The generator, you only really need one. The battery, you can get 1 to 8 units, let's say. Really depends on how much power you're consuming. So the batteries, a lot more upfront costs. In terms of operational costs, this is where the generator loses out. The generator is a mechanical engine, same thing as your car. If you remember, you need to take your car to get an oil change every 5,000, 7,000 kilometers. Same thing for your generator. Usually we recommend an maintenance, which includes an oil change, check of all the terminations, voltage check, air filter check, checking for any oil leaks, stuff like that. That's once a year. It really depends. If you're using it more than 200-300 hours per year, you want to do a maintenance every 200 to 300 hours. So you could even be even higher than that. But typically we recommend once a year, kind of before the winter season. And that's great. So that's around, depending on your provider, $300 to $500 every year. Plus, of course, you still need to pay for the fuel when the grid goes out. So if you're on propane, this can be pretty costly. Of course, it's better than freezing in your home or having food go bad. It's still a cost you need to take into consideration. If you're on natural gas, not as much of a painful experience, but still a cost to consider. Whereas the batteries, you have that higher upfront cost like we talked about, especially if you're a higher power user, but there's no really ongoing maintenance. Nothing really to do. The battery will turn on if there's a grid outage within milliseconds. You won't really notice it. Your clocks won't even have a chance to reset. And if you have a solar system, this is where you really run into a lot of cost savings, because during the day, when the solar is producing, typically that's not when we're using the most amount of power in our house. So there's usually an overage there in terms of solar production versus what we're using. So that overage of solar production can either be fed back to the grid if you're on net metering. Now we're getting into load displacement, which surely means you can only replace what you're using. That excess power can go to your battery. Now, with that battery, you can actually power your home at night, even if there is no grid outage. So you have some cost savings there, and you still have the benefit of having the backup power in case of a grid outage. So it's kind of doing both. Now, sizing the battery is really what that's the hardest part. If you are a high power user, you might need a lot of batteries. It might not make a lot of sense. If you're a low power user with a decent sized solar system, it could be more cost effective to go with the battery because you're going to save money on it. So the Generac is about, I think it's warranted for 5 to 10 years, depending when you get the Generac. They run promos every year or two. You might get an extended 7-year, extended 10-year. Typically it's 5 to 10 years. Lifespan of the actual unit, I think, is around 10,000 run hours, which means the more you use it, the quicker you're going to run down that engine. But all in all, you could be looking 10, 20 years with good maintenance. Take care of the unit. Make sure you get your regular oil changes and it'll treat you very well. The batteries, they're warranted for about 10 years, 10,000 cycles. So depending how often you're using the batteries, same thing. At the end of that 10 years, though, it's not kaput. You don't got to throw the battery out. We're just looking at a reduced charge capacities. I think most of them are warranted for about 70% of the total original capacity at the end of that 10-year period. Next, noise level. This is important for some people that live in urban areas. The Generac, still loud. You're still running a generator. Your neighbors may or may not be happy, but honestly, it's a grid outage. Who cares? I think they can put up with it for the odd times it happens, but still something to consider. Of course, you don't want to be that one house on the street pissing everybody off. The battery's super quiet, doesn't really make a noise. You'll hear it when you go up to the thing. There's obviously the inverter, the fan in there, but really it's not making any noise. Very quiet, very sleek, looks good, easy on that part. And what else are we looking at? I think that's about it. Power source for the Generac, like I said, propane, natural gas, you got to pay for it. The battery, you can power it from the sun, or you can charge it on ultra low overnight rates. If your utility provider has that. In Hydro Ottawa, we do have that. So you can charge it at like 2.6 cents per kilowatt hour, discharge it during peak. That's totally fine. In terms of backup activation, the Generac will take 30 to 60 seconds, depending how cold it is, but typically grid goes down, Generac starts up. Once it's warmed up, the transfer switch will kick in and the Generac will power the home. And it's the same thing when the grid comes back on. The backup battery is instantaneous. You're really not going to see it. The lights might flicker a bit. It's like 2 milliseconds. It's very quick. So you're not really going to feel it. Runtime for the Generac, as long as you have fuel, whether it's natural gas or propane, you're going to be powered. If you're rural, you want to make sure you size your propane tanks according to how many days of backup power you want to have. It's a mouthful. For the backup battery, we're going to want to make sure that we're sizing the batteries to take into account how much power your house uses, especially if you're in backup mode. Like, maybe we're not running everything in the house. We want to take that into account, and we want to take into account how much power your solar system is producing minus how much your home uses, and then kind of make up that difference with a buffer with the battery. So that could be anywhere from a 10 kilowatt hour battery to a 40 kilowatt hour battery. That's where we get into increments of 1 to 4 batteries. Like I said, maintenance, there's a bit of maintenance with the Generacs, no maintenance with the batteries. Emissions, obviously there's emissions with the generator, no emissions with the batteries. It's all cost with the generator. Like I said, total cost to install a unit, purchase a unit, get it hooked up with electrical, gas. You're going to be in the neighborhood of 13 to 18,000, depending on how big the unit is. Batteries can be, it's roughly the same, but you're going to get a smaller unit battery. So you can get a 5 kilowatt battery installed for, I think, 12, 13,000 with the transfer switch. Bigger batteries, like a 13 kilowatt hour Powerwall, you're going to be in a range of 16, 17,000. Then you have expansion packs on top of that. So kind of get some cost savings down the road as the transfer switch is already installed. Everyday use. Yeah. So the generator, like I said, only useful during outages. Aside from that, it's not doing anything, just sitting there looking pretty. Hopefully, if they did a good installation. The battery, you can use it for peak shaving. So you can use it for excess solar, put in the battery, use that at night to power your home. So it does save you money. Doesn't only sit there and look pretty and wait for outages. So there's a better ROI, in my opinion, on the battery. The backup generator really only gives you grid independence when the grid's out. So if you're looking for straight backup power, that's probably the best route to go. If you don't already have solar, if you have solar, the battery pretty much takes you off grid, so to speak. You can power your house during the day with solar and power your house with the excess energy in the battery at night. And you get the backup power. Lifespan, we've pretty much talked about it. The Generac, you're 15, 20 years with proper maintenance. And the battery, they're warranted for 10 years. So I'm assuming 10, 15 years. It is a newer technology. So we don't really have the data yet. That's pretty much it. My recommendation, if you want cost effective, you don't mind the maintenance along the road and the fuel costs, get the generator. It's a great option. Tried and true. Been around for 20 plus years. If you have solar or you want solar or you want to peak shave with the battery, meaning, charge it at a low rate and then discharge it during peak rates, I would suggest the battery. And it is new tech. It's cutting edge. They're still developing it. The Tesla Powerwall is really cool. It's coming in at a really good price. And I think really the home batteries are going to be the future. I don't think anyone's going to have a generator in their house in 10, 15 years. It's going to be batteries. We're kind of in a transition period now. So you have both options that are still decent, but I'll lean towards the home battery myself, of course, as I am a solar guy. Awesome, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I hope I wasn't too all over the place. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll try to answer everybody as best as I can. And I will be putting out more videos with more information for all you guys. Have an awesome day. Be great.